If you've been vaccinated, now you can get your booster shot if you qualify. Stay strong, get vaccinated, and learn more at healthylincoln.org.
1, 2, 3.
This is The Ticket High School Saturday.
Well done, well done, well done.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let's go 3-0, and let's come sit down and drink some Gatorade.
Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studio, here is your host, Nick Sainert.
Good morning. Welcome in. Happy Saturday. This is the High School Saturday Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert with you as always. We have a loaded show today. It's an exciting one. We are here at Beatrice Bakery here in Beatrice. Come on out. They're having their grand opening. We will be here until 12:30 today. DP will take over after we're done here with the High School Saturday Show, and he will take you through those 2.5 hours. There's a lot of cool things here.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that
they have coffee. They have tons of things to sample. So please come on out. If you have not tried it, you need to try it right now. They'll have a ribbon cutting here shortly in about 25 minutes at 9:45. It is their grand opening. 400 Bell Street here in Beatrice, Nebraska is the place to be. We'll be giving away some raffle prizes. Those will be announced later today. As always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you the whole day today as we kind of take you through Beatrice Bakery's grand opening out here at 400 Bell Street in Beatrice. As always, High School Saturday Show on 93.7 The Ticket is sponsored by Ambition Electric, providing quality and reliable electrical work for nearly 20 years. Contact our good friend Joe Davis for any of your electrical needs at 402-217-3415. There's a lot to get to today. We'll be joined by Luke Mullen of the Lincoln Journal-Star, as we always are here every Saturday. He'll join us here in about 20 minutes or so. There's a lot of stuff to get to. I don't know. I haven't been able to talk to you guys about the whole All-State team in terms of the football season. I know there was some controversy there about, especially at the quarterback position. So we're going to kind of dive into that, look at the stats. And I understand it's not always about stats, but we're going to kind of dive into that, see, compare Noah Walters, the Lincoln East quarterback, and Zane Flores, the Gretna quarterback that already has multiple Power 5 offers. So we'll dive into that a little bit as we go along. Also, North Star, Lincoln North Star, the Gators, making some waves in terms of coaching changes, coaching additions. I don't know if you guys have heard, but they've added a couple former Huskers to their staff. I've been able to watch North Star the last couple years pretty closely, and they've really made progress, but they just made some changes at the top. And so therefore they made some changes down below in some assistant coaching roles. In addition to their head coach, Tony Kobza is out after 4 years, where honestly, those 4 years, despite them not finding a ton of success, they were able to really get it done on the football field and make progress, right? We always talk about progress. Us as Husker fans know progress, that progress discussion all too well. So they in terms of record, in terms of wins, they've really been able to make that progress over the last 4 years under Tony Kobza at Lincoln North Star. So we'll kind of dive into that as well. And then we're deep. We're in the middle of the Nebraska Preps high school basketball season, so we'll kind of dive into that as well. We'll navigate you through some of the scores that happened yesterday. There were some good games in the city and outside of the city. Bellevue West is playing in a tournament outside of the state of Nebraska, and I want to get your guys' thoughts. 402-464-5685. Please feel free to text in. We're also live on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So please check us out there. We can throw your comment up on the screen and incorporate your thoughts into the show that way. Once again, we're at Beatrice Bakery, 400 Bell Street here in Beatrice. If you have not tried any of their cakes, I'm telling you, folks, get out here and try it. It's a 30-minute drive from Lincoln. If you are in Beatrice, listening to us on the stream, listening to us over the app, please get out here, try it. They have, my favorite is this pina colada cake. It's to die for, folks. I'm telling you. And if you're saying, Nick, you can't have pina colada cake at 9:24 in the morning. Wrong. I'm telling you, folks, I've already had tons of it, and I'm going to go back for more once we head to commercial. But so let's go ahead and start right here with Lincoln North Star, right? 402-464-5685, Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. Feel free to give me your thoughts all show long. We'll dive into it. We're going to have a lot of fun today with, like I said, I'm here with you for about an hour, and then DP will take you the rest of the way till 12:30. He just walked in the door. He has a cup of coffee. He's ready to go. It's a little chilly outside, but they do have coffee, so it's all good to go. So Lincoln North Star, right? They added earlier this week, it was announced that former Husker quarterback Tommy Armstrong Jr. is going to be the new offensive coordinator for Lincoln North Star. Now, when we talk about closing that gap, and in addition to Tommy Armstrong, they're going to have Alonzo Moore, a former Husker wide receiver, as their wide receivers coach. And so when you talk about closing that gap between Lincoln and Omaha schools, like we've talked about so much, and I don't want to bring it back up over and over, but when we talk about it and say, you know, what's keeping Lincoln from being like Omaha? And part of that is numbers. Part of that is the amount of players and athletes that are surrounding the school. Yes. But also, I mean, it's coaching, right? And that's not a slight. I'm not trying to, you know, give crap to coaches here in Lincoln, because I've been able to meet a lot of them and they're really, really awesome. But at the end of the day, that's what separates, and that's what can take a team over the top and to a championship, right? And yes, you do need the athletes, but at the end of the day, it's all on who's your staff. And when we talk about closing that gap from Lincoln schools to Omaha schools, like we've talked so much about, then you wonder, how can these additions to Lincoln North Star be a bad thing, right? And when you have Tommy Armstrong Jr., who's one of the more decorated quarterbacks in recent years for Nebraska, I mean, if you think about recent quarterbacks for Nebraska, I mean, it's Taylor Martinez, Tommy Armstrong, Tanner Lee for his season, right? And then now Adrian Martinez. You feel like Tommy Armstrong had one of the better careers than they all did, right? Graduated in 2016. He was an honorable All Big Ten mention in that year. Had over 2,600 total yards in 11 games that season. He was the first player in Husker history to have over 2,000 yards in 3 consecutive seasons. He held a ton of records before Adrian Martinez broke a couple. And then you have the wide receivers coach, like I was saying, Alonzo Moore, who's the former Husker wide receiver. Graduated in 2016, played 11 of the games in 2016, was teammates with Tommy Armstrong during his time. Finished the season in 2016, his senior year, with 20 receptions. And it's like a cool story. They're former college teammates at Nebraska, and now they're staying in Lincoln to coach a high school program. And like I said, kind of tying it all back together, you talk about closing that gap, and it's trying to find guys that understand what it takes to get to the next level, right? And I'm not necessarily saying it, and I don't want you guys to put words in my mouth, but I'm not saying like North Star has 12 Division I athletes, but in terms of finding guys to play at Morningside and the GPAC schools, NAIA, Division III, Division II, you know, those South Dakota State schools. I mean, I talked about him earlier, right when we started the high school show, and it was the heart of football season, right? Jace Elliott for Lincoln North Star, very underrated. You just didn't hear about him, unfortunately. The stat line should say differently, but you were not able to hear about him that often. And so it was kind of a shame to see that he went under-recruited, right? And that's kind of the story in Lincoln. And I'll tie that into Noah Walters here in a little bit, because we'll mention him and that whole all-state team. But when you're talking about guys just being under-recruited, and part of that is due to the COVID pandemic, and you know, you can't really control that, obviously, but you talk about closing that talent gap. And North Star, they made progress under Tony Kobza in 4 years. They're now sitting here with a couple coaches in Tommy Armstrong and Alonzo Moore that have been playing at the college level, have found success at the college level. Tommy Armstrong, if I remember correctly, played in the CFL. He's still eligible to play in the CFL. So there's a chance that next season, Tommy just leaves and goes to the CFL. Like there is options for Tommy Armstrong Jr., the former Huskers quarterback. And we've seen this for a while now. I mean, just going back to my high school, Jason Oncraw, the former Husker defensive black shirt there, he came back. He coached at Pius for a couple years and then actually went on and got a head coaching job at a smaller school. So there's definitely things to be excited about when there's former Huskers leading young players and young athletes, because they know what it takes to get to the next level. And that's a main goal for a lot of these athletes, especially in high school, no matter where you are, whether you're in Norris, whether you're in Beatrice, whether you're in Lincoln or Omaha. At least half of the players want to go on to play in college, right? And they just need guidance. They just need somebody to say, hey, this is the advice that I want to pass along to you. And now Lincoln North Star has two guys in Tommy Armstrong Jr. and Alonzo Moore that are going to be a lot of fun to watch lead this program. Once again, we are at Beatrice Bakery, 400 Bell Street here in Beatrice, live on location. We have tons of things going on today. I'll be with you for a little under an hour since we got a little bit of a late start. But here at the Beatrice Bakery, we have coffee. We have samples for everything that you could think of. I talked about it a little bit ago. Pina colada cake's my favorite. They also have the vanilla rum, the lemon drop, the chocolate rum infused cake. They have the ye old English cake. They have grandma's fruit cake. They have every single kind of cake you guys could ever want here at Beatrice Bakery, 400 Bell Street in Beatrice. There's going to be a ribbon cutting here in about 15 minutes at 9:45. So we will be still broadcasting live at that time. It's their grand opening today. So come on out, say hello. We'll be all good. We'll be giving away some raffle prizes as well. We have a lot of people signing up. They've been busy. I got here about 8:40 this morning, and they've been shuffling people in and out the whole entire morning. So it's been really, really fun to see. It's a chilly morning, so they have tons of coffee. I'm not kidding you, folks. I walked past the table, and they had like 9 different syrups. And I was like, holy cow, they have everything. They have everything. This is the place to be on a Saturday morning, on a chilly Saturday morning. Come on out to Beatrice Bakery. All right. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Those are still open for you. Give me your thoughts. Who do you want to shout out? You know the drill. Who do you want to shout out? Who do you want to mention? It can be from Lincoln. It can be from Omaha. It can be from a small town. We do not care. We want to let people know about the exciting athletes here in this state. All right. Earlier this week, the all-state teams were announced for football, and I know last Saturday I said that I was going to kind of put a bow on the football season because it was full go into basketball and wrestling mode, right? But there was a lot of controversy over the all-state team, especially at the quarterback position. And we'll get Luke Mullen's thoughts on the Lincoln Journal-Star here in a little bit, but I'm curious to know, what are the parameters for this award? Does it just automatically go to the state championship winning quarterback? Because if so, that's fine. But once again, if you listen to my show daily, or if you've ever caught it and we've been talking about Husker football, nothing changes. Whether you're talking about Husker football or whether you're talking about high school football, for me, it's that transparency and accountability and just being honest and open, right? And when you look at the stat lines, let me just run through them. So Zane Flores, and I've been able to watch quite a few of them. I've been able to watch quite a few of these quarterbacks throughout the state every week, and being able to talk to Luke about it, he's informed me quite a bit. And I'm not slighting Zane Flores. Please do not take this as a slight to Zane Flores. Very, very talented. I'm very excited to watch him. He's going to be probably the top quarterback in the state next season. And he's going to have an exciting recruiting process. It's already exciting. I'll look up his offer list, but I'm telling you, folks, this is exciting stuff when it comes to Zane Flores. But when we look at the stat line, let's just look solely at the stats for last season. Zane Flores, 232 of 331 passes, had some more opportunities since they did make it to the state title, had that incredible run. That is Gretna. They had that incredible run into the state title game against Omaha Westside. I mentioned it before. I didn't give them much of a chance against Omaha Westside in that state or Class A title game, but they came out. They had strong defense. Mick Huber, Zane Flores, the rest of those guys really showed out and played well for the Dragons and won them the first title. And honestly, I mentioned it before, but this is kind of the year that Gretna had the best opportunity to win since they were there. And the reason for that, and you're going to say, Nick, you're crazy, but for the reason for that is when you look at Gretna is probably going to get a second school, so that will divide up some of the talents. You look at the young roster of Omaha Westside, who is has tons of sophomores. That sophomore class is stacked, folks. And so we're going to be checking that out, but and they'll find success for years to come. But when you look at just Gretna and really impressive performance by Zane Flores and company. But once again, back to the stats. Zane Flores, 232 of 331 passes on the season this last year, 26 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions. Good little ratio there, especially with the talent and the competition that Gretna played. And so before we get to break here, I'll finish this out and kind of put a bow. And once again, your thoughts, 402-464-5685. But then when you compare him to Noah Walters, who once again broke Class A records on his way to an impressive season. DP just talked to him yesterday a little bit on one-on-one. So if you missed any of that, that's on the podcast page at theticketfm.com. But Noah Walters, 187 of 281 passes this season, 44 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. 44 touchdowns. Class A in Lincoln. It's impressive stuff to watch. That kid was slinging it. But also, you could even make a case that Cooper Erickson should have been on that All-State team. And this isn't because I'm a huge fan. It's not because I enjoyed watching Lincoln East this season because of their explosive offense. That's not why I'm saying this. But when you look at the stat sheet, those guys outperformed some of the guys from Omaha in terms of just stats. And so that's where I'm asking, what are the parameters for these awards, right? We don't know. Is it that you have to compete in a state A championship game? Because if so, that's fine. Like, that's all good and fine and dandy, and we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to argue with that, but I'm honestly curious because you look at this and when you solely look at the stats, and I understand it's not solely about the stats, but when you only look at the stats, it's explainable that there's controversy surrounding this selection, right? And so it's going to be interesting to see how it is going forward. Noah Walters, his recruitment's really picked up. He's had some Central Arkansas conversations. He's had some smaller conversations as well, and we'll see where it goes from here. Once again, we are at Beatrice Bakery here on 400 Bell Street in Beatrice, Nebraska. Seriously, folks, get down here. We will be down here until 12:30 today. DP will take you a little after 10 and round you guys out for the next couple hours. Tons of samples. Try it before you buy it. What's better than that, right? They have coffee because it's so cold outside. They have coffee, like I said. They'll have raffle prizes, giveaways. As always, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, Starter Heyman text line. They're about to do a ribbon cutting here in about 8 minutes, but that's not stopping us here on the ticket. We're going to go ahead and go to break. When we come back, we will be joined by Luke Mullen of the Lincoln Journal-Star. We'll ask him about Tommy Armstrong, Alonzo Moore. We'll ask him about the Class A All-State team, who's on his team, and then we'll also ask him about the Preps landscape in terms of basketball, but we'll also touch into the smaller classes. He's really smart on the Class B, Class C1, even smaller classes than that, so we'll dive into all that next. You're listening to the High School Saturday Show, sponsored by Ambition Electric on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Prescription opioids can be addictive and dangerous.
Opioid pain medication took everything that I had. Nothing mattered more than getting my fix. Knowing that it could have been prevented makes it worse. It just takes one.
Prescription opioids. It only takes a little to lose a lot. developed by CDC.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and now I'm protecting it with the COVID vaccine. Everyone, even kids 5 years and older, can get the vaccine too. If you've been vaccinated, now you can get your booster shot if you qualify. Stay strong, get vaccinated, and learn more at healthylincoln.org.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers says let it snow because a white New Year's Eve could mean free jewelry. Shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. And remember, shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sutter Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
South Lincoln has a new place for you to catch all sporting events. The Upside Bar and Lounge is your destination for Monday Night Football, UFC fight nights, and more. It's a great place to meet friends to enjoy great drinks and food, with plenty of TVs to catch all the action. There's easy access and free parking and comfortable seating for groups. And don't forget happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. each weekday. There's specials every night, including taco night on Mondays and burger baskets on Tuesdays. That's at the Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake. Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for maintenance techs. They have needs for the 10B shift, Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m., the 12A shift, Saturday through Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and the 12B shift, Saturday through Monday from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Minimum 2 years experience in a fast-paced industrial environment is recommended to apply, and pay is based on experience. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So, don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone, and Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting January 8th, all for a chance to win $1,000. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up today. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting January 8th with 2 locations in Lincoln.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
The Ticket, High School Saturday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the Tickets High School Saturday Show, Nick Sainer with you live from Beatrice Bakery, 400 Bell Street, here in Beatrice, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you the remainder of the way. We'll get to your reaction there in the final segment. There's a lot of good stuff there. As always, this show is sponsored by Ambition Electric, providing quality and reliable electrical work for nearly 20 years. Contact our good friend Joe Davis for any of your electrical needs at 402-217-3415. Good stuff in that first segment there. A lot of interesting conversation between the Class A All-State or the All-State team that was announced earlier this week. Tommy Armstrong, Alonzo Moore, all those former Huskers now coming back to the community to coach high school athletes. Let's go ahead and start right there. We are joined now on the Honda of Lincoln hotline by Luke Mullen of the Lincoln Journal-Star. Not quite yet. Sorry about that. And so we'll get to him and get his thoughts here momentarily. But I'm curious. Where are your guys' thoughts? And let's go to the text line. We have quite a few people that texted in and asking about, why is height the only thing that we're measuring on it? And I agree, right? When you look at the stats, like I said, I cannot comprehend the 44 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. It's super impressive, right? And they only made it to the first round. They got bounced in the first round, unfortunately, and it was not because of a lack of offensive effort by Lincoln East, right? It was they allowed Gretna to score 50 points, which now looking back, Gretna was your Class A state title winner. And so that's not a horrible performance, or there's no shame in getting bounced out of the Class A playoffs by Gretna. Let's go ahead and bring in Luke Mullen of the Lincoln Journal-Star. Luke, how's it going, man?
It's going great, Nick. Thanks for having me on again. And get to bring you ticket listeners a Saturday morning exclusive here. We got the Lincoln Journal-Star Super State football team going up tonight on our website, journalstar.com. And I know quarterback Noah Walters, he is our captain of the 2021 team.
Yeah, let's dive into that a little bit deeper. And I'm curious, what were your thoughts when that came out, the All-State team, I should say, and you saw Zane Flores on there, which Zane Flores, I'm not trying to compare athletes. I really am not, because Zane Flores, we've talked about him quite a bit, Luke. I mean, he has multiple Power 5 offers. He can really throw the football around in addition to Noah Walters. I'm not saying that there was a wrong choice made at all. I'm not saying that at all. But were you surprised not to see the Lincoln East slinger on there?
I definitely was, just because, I mean, he broke the single season passing record in Class A. I mean, that's the highest level of high school football in the state. I don't think you can consider any better performances, any better players really, than doing it week in, week out, consistency over the entire season. What I will say also is it is a task to compile kind of these all-state lists. You're obviously leaving off great players no matter what. So
Absolutely.
My methodology, I don't personally care about position requirements. You all will see when we release the teams, but there's several quarterbacks on the offensive side of the ball, several defensive backs, several linebackers on defense. So I think World Herald factors in positional requirements a little bit stricter in that. So that gives me a little more freedom in that regard, I think.
That's understandable as all. Let's stick with football really quick, because there was more news around the capital city in terms of new coaches. And Tommy Armstrong, Alonzo Moore, former Huskers, heading back to Lincoln North Star now to coach some high school athletes. Armstrong will be with the offensive coordinator, while Alonzo Moore's the wide receivers coach. I mean, we've talked about the talent gap, right, between Lincoln and Omaha, and I kind of talked about it in the first segment as well. But what does that do for just the talent and being able to develop guys in Lincoln?
Well, it's definitely an exciting moment, I think, for all those young kids coming up in the North Star program. I don't know how you cannot get pumped up about, having a former Husker as your offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Just anything to kind of keep up interest. It's always just so important to keep up numbers, not just your varsity team, but all the way down to freshmen throughout the program. So it'll be interesting to see at North Star. They've had a couple losing seasons in a row. James Thompson, longtime assistant, he's the head coach there now. So Brian Lauk, the former defensive coordinator, he's now the coach at Lincoln Northwest. So an entirely new slate of coordinators. I think they're at North Star, they're looking to get, put their own stamp on the program, make it their own over these next couple of years. And, Tommy Armstrong, obviously a stand-up guy, great guy. Super excited to see what he does with some of these high school athletes and, getting his own experience, his own skills, the things he was great at, kind of helping pass that down to the next generation.
Yeah, we're speaking to Luke Mullen of the Lincoln Journal-Star. A couple more before we have to let you go, since we're running out of time here, Luke. You were out at Lincoln Southwest. Let's head into basketball, I should say. You were out at Lincoln Southwest, Lincoln Southeast last night. Lincoln Southeast having to replace Ajante Hogan and some of their older guys from last season's program. Ajante Hogan became the Knights' all-time leading scorer at Lincoln Southeast. I mean, you saw Lincoln Southeast and Lincoln Southwest. Explain that one, how that one unfolded for us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you bring up a great point there, Nick. Personally, I was really not expecting Southeast to win many games this year. They had 0 returning varsity starters, only 1 senior on the roster overall. So just a very young, rebuilding team. But they super impressed me last night. Just young sophomore, freshman guards, just the intensity that they play at. that is a young, hungry team that, they might not have the technical ability, they might not have the veteran know-how to kind of win some of these close, tight games. But that's a team that is always going to give you a run for your money in the gym. They're going to be a great team next up in a couple of years when those young guys develop. And on the flip side, you have Southwest, who just showed, some of their experience. They showed that they know how to win these games. They're strongly kind of fighting for that title of best team in Lincoln, off to a 5-0 start, which is best in school history. I hear from Coach Bob winning 5 in a row to start the year. So credit to those guys. Junior guard Rylan Smith averaging about 20 points a game.
Cool.
So he's been a wrecker this year. Yeah.
We're speaking to Luke Mullen of the Lincoln Journal-Star, and once again, we talked about that talent gap in football, but how about in basketball? Because last year it was really Miller North, Bellevue West really were separate from everybody else. Has that shrunk this year with some of the teams in Lincoln really coming up? I mean, we've talked about Pius X with the Hastreiter brothers, with the Southwest transfer. Now Southwest on their own is very impressive as well. I mean, has that shrunk? Is the margin between those two tiers of programs smaller?
No, it definitely has, Nick. And, this year I still see Bellevue West as that, that favorite for Class A. They still have, pretty much the most talent. Miller North, of course, has to be up there. The continuity in those programs is so impressive. But just the Class A landscape as a whole, very tight, very much so all together. A lot of parity, teams fighting to find their spot. And I've just been super impressed with how all the Lincoln teams have done. Pretty much everybody with a winning record so far. Lincoln High, the only team with a losing record out of our Class A schools here in Lincoln. So that's just a testament to the quality all over. And what I will say is today is going to give us a little glimpse to see if those Lincoln teams stack up against Omaha. I'll be watching Lincoln East take on Miller North, obviously a huge test. Mustangs undefeated. And then you also have Southwest coming off that big win, having to play at Creighton Prep. So 2 top 5 Class A teams, state tournament regulars right there for the Lincoln teams to test themselves against.
Last one before we let you go, we're talking to Luke Mullen of the Lincoln Journal-Star. Luke, I mean, Lincoln Northeast is 5-0. That surprises me. What are they doing that has allowed them to start off undefeated?
Well, I just got to give a shout out to head coach Monty Ritchie. I think he does a great job just working with those guys that he has there every year. The scheme that they put these guys in is just fantastic. Playing inside out from those big guys, get those 3-point shooters going. And it was always going to be a case to me, do these young guards develop? Do they kind of step up, show the potential that they had, and, put it all together for Northeast? And I think the answer is definitely yes. You have Carlos Valdez, of course, Porter Basil playing more as a forward now. You got Christian Wynn, a couple other guys, Gatran Gatnor. He's having a great year as a senior there as well. I believe they have 4 guys averaging about 9-10 points per game. So the scoring is coming from all over. That is just a team playing team basketball. And yeah, I'm super excited to see how they hold up in the HAC going up against the rest of the Lincoln teams.
All right, Luke, appreciate the time as always, man. Thanks for coming on and spending. Hey, we obviously won't have a show next Saturday or the following Saturday with it being Christmas and New Year's. So enjoy the holiday season, take some, enjoy the time off, and we'll talk to you when we all get back and rolling again.
We'll do. Happy holidays to you too, Nick, and to all the listeners. Thanks, guys.
That is Luke Mullen of the Lincoln Journal-Star. Appreciate him taking some time as always. Let's go ahead and take our final time out. We will look at some of the games that are happening this afternoon and then hand it off to DP and the rest of the guys from Beatrice Bakery here in Beatrice, 400 Bell Street. We'll be here till 12:30. Come on out. There's samples. There's coffee. They just had the ribbon cutting ceremony, so it's official, folks. Come on out, try some cake, and we'll have some fun out here till 12:30. All right, let's take our final time out. You're listening to the High School Saturday Show on 93.7 The Ticket.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Ow! God! Ow!
Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
The
The workday is long, the bills are due, and sometimes you just need to relax. There's no better way to do that than in your brand new hot spring spa from Bonsall Pool & Spa. With hot tubs as low as $75 per month and interest-free financing, you're sure to find the perfect spa to fit your lifestyle. So get over to Bonsall Pool & Spa today and check out their selection of hot spring spas. Bonsall Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2. Every day made better.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers says let it snow because a white New Year's Eve could mean free jewelry. Shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. And remember, shop from November 24th to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
The Ticket High School Saturday on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the High School Saturday Show, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainer hanging out with you for the first hour or so, live from Beatrice Bakery here in Beatrice, Nebraska, 400 Bell Street. Come on out. It's a 30-minute drive from Lincoln. Not bad at all. What better way to spend a Saturday morning than sampling cake, buying cake, and drinking coffee with a lot of awesome people. I took a picture with Granny. DP just got a picture as well. So check out those on Twitter. We'll post those. Be all good to go. We'll give away raffle prizes until about 12:30 today. And we'll take you through your Saturday morning right here on the Ticket High School Saturday Show, sponsored by Ambition Electric. As always, 402-464-5685. Thanks again to Luke Mullen of the Lincoln Journal-Star for joining us every Saturday. I kind of mentioned it at the end of that interview there. We will not be having a show the next 2 Saturdays because of Christmas, and then New Year's Day falls on the following Saturday as well. So it'll be a couple weeks, but we'll have a lot to talk about after we get back. So some of the interesting games that are happening today around the state in terms of the basketball landscape, Bellevue West is facing Centennial. Now, Centennial's not the small town Centennial that we all know. It's actually a program from Corona, California, making the trip to South Dakota to face the undefeated Thunderbirds of Bellevue West. And Centennial, who comes in with a 6-1 record, like once again from Corona, California, they'll play and tip off at 1 p.m. today. Gretna and Pius X play at 4:30 today. That's an interesting game because Pius is one of those programs that we've talked about. They should be much better than their 3-2 record indicates. They have the Hofstreiter brothers, one of them going to North Dakota State, the other going to South Dakota State. And they also have the Southwest transfer, Jared Borer, as well on that Thunderbolt squad. Gretna lost last time out to Lincoln East last Saturday. And so they're trying, that's a matchup of 2 3-2 squads at 4:30 today here in Lincoln. Kearney travels to Columbus. Once again, I talked about it last week. Kearney and their head coach, Drake Bronick, the former Husker. A lot of fun to watch on the sidelines, very animated, but really cares about his guys there for the Kearney Bearcats. And last but not least, we have a couple seconds left. Lincoln East travels to Miller North. Luke kind of talked about that one. Lincoln East is the kind of surprise team this year. They have Malachi Coleman, obviously the football star, with a lot of high offers for high school football. Iowa State, Nebraska, Michigan State, all in the mix there for the defensive end / wide receiver out of Lincoln East. And they've been playing good basketball here early on in the season. They travel to Miller North there. That'll do it for us live from Beatrice Bakery. Don't go anywhere. DP takes over here from Beatrice Bakery, 400 Bell Street in Beatrice. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Ow! God! Ow!
Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric